Hello, everyone. My name is Bonnie Stewart, and I am with Camping Services at the Girl Scouts of Connecticut. I am going to tell you a little bit about my experiences writing and illustrating a small book, a simple book. I am going to read you the story, then give you an idea of how you yourselves can start your own book and get some ideas from my book, and then show you also ways you can illustrate the book using simple items at home that you probably have. So first thing I'm going to do is read you the story. Hold on. The name of this story is Gee Whiz. You can see it. My name is Tommy, and my story is I've got this great grandma that says, gee whiz. She'll greet me at the elevator doors with a smile. We'll hug and she'll say, gee whiz, can you stay for a while? She'll lead me to her kitchen for some chocolate cake. A monumental piece. Gee whiz, eat up for heaven's sakes. With washcloth in hand on my face she will raid, mumbling gee whiz at the mess that I had made. Great grandma loves to hear me play her piano in the den. She hums along, gee whiz, you're great, and begs, please play again. With fingers in position, bumble boogie will I play, ending each and every song with gee whiz, hip hip hooray. A favorite at great grandma's is swimming in the pool. She'll wear her silly hat and state, gee whiz, I'm really cool. So down to the pool, great grandma leads the way, greeting all her friends with, gee whiz, lovely day. I will jump into the pool and be head to toe all wet. Great grandma always yelps, gee whiz, I'm not ready yet. Eventually, great grandma does a keen belly flop. With flailing arms, she shouts, gee whiz, as she floats onto the top. Gee whiz, our busy day was filled with so much fun. Tommy, whispering softly, you're my sweetest great-grandson. It always makes me sad to end our happy day. Great-grandma pouts, gee whiz, Tommy, I wish that you could stay. With a big hug and a kiss, I'll bid her fond farewell. Home to Mom and Dad, gee whiz, so very much to tell. The end. Okay, so what I want you to do is to create your own story. And how we start a story is we create a story web. So I'm going to ask each of you to grab a piece of paper and spend the next maybe half hour to an hour about thinking about story ideas. You're going to need, first and foremost, your thought or your idea bubble. What do you think you want to write a story about? And the way you're going to ask yourself is you're going to think about some questions to get to the idea. What are you excited about? For me, it was my son had a fun-loving relationship with his great-grandmother. Then what are 4 things that you or your child may like to do? You or your parents would like to do. For me, my son liked to rap, so rhyming was a great start. So I tried to write it as if the rapping narrator was telling the story. So in other words, my son Tommy was the storyteller. And I brought elements in the story that are things that he likes to do, like swimming and eating cake and playing instruments. So I had to find ways to bring that into the story. Also, you have to find some human characteristics. You got to look for ways to humanize your characters, bring into the emotion like enthusiasm and friendly and sad, or how they felt during an exciting moment in the story. And then also you can use what they call similes, where, as an example, clean as a whistle is a simile. So if you can find something that is describing words, as I did with washcloth in hand on my face, she will raid. It gives you a visual that, okay, here comes grandma's big hand with her washcloth to wash my face, and you've got to describe it. So it describes it as how the person felt feeling or seeing that hand, or the actual event, how they felt, with just words and not necessarily a picture. All right, so that's how you get to the idea. So you're going to take your graphic, and you're going to create a circle, which will have your topic idea, maybe even your title. You might think of the title right off. And then also, so mine was Gee Whiz, and the topic was a visit to great grandma. Then I need to find the who, the what, the where, when, how, and why of the story. And that's what these other bubbles are going to be. So then my who is Tommy and great grandma. My what is rapping his way through a day with great grandma. The when and where was at great grandma's assisted living facility. And then the how. How am I going to make this happen? I'm going to make it happen by having an opener, a middle, and an end to my story. So you can't get to the end without thinking about each part. So an opening, a middle, and an end. So for me, the opening was introducing the characters. He said his name was Tommy, and his story is, and he's got this great grandma who says gee whiz. So that right there tells you that's who's telling us the story. The middle, fun times throughout the day of their long visit. That's the middle, so the portion of the day that it depicts. And then the end, appreciating great grandma, telling mom and dad about the fun day. So as you can see, that's my graphic of webbing for my story. So after you've done that, I'm going to show you what mine would have looked like if I had done it myself by hand. See, you're just going to just hand write in some circles and write who, what, where, when, and why up here, and then the title. Then, so we've got how to get to the idea. Then we want to create some illustrations. And to create illustrations, for me, I was motivated not by the fact that I am extremely a good painter. I am not. So therefore, I knew not having the ability to really paint well or even really draw well, I thought about, well, you know what? Maybe if I use cut paper, I'd have a little more control of creating my illustrations. Back out and show you. That is all just cut paper. And you can make texture to your paper, and I'll show you how, by taking paper and paint and haphazardly just making all kinds of brush strokes, like a marbling effect on paper. And then when you let it dry, you have really nice textured sheets of paper. See, this would make a really good tree. So let me show you. Let's see. Descriptive things like making the cake larger than life and his face and expression larger than life, because you can see the cake is cut out, the piece is cut out over here, and then look at the enthusiasm of that excitement he's going to have in that cake. Also, see the curtain? That's just some fabric. You could use whatever you want. So you're going to start your list of items that you want to bring to your table when you start. Remember I was saying you could make a tree out of that green painted paper? That would just be the same thing here, is all these little cut out, random pieces, put them together and make a vase, and you've got a tree. Let's see what else. Oh, you could make aluminum foil or something for a mirror. The water, you could just paint a lot of blue and then have the same as you did with the green paint, do it all in blue, and that could make your texture in your pool. And I guess that's, oh, and that's another technique, is to, if you do something all in black, it makes it a shadow. It looks like a shadow. And also you have to think about lines. If you're drawing something that has movement, you need to make the lines go in a certain direction. And if you make the road go in that direction, then you need to make the trees go in that direction. Okay. So what you're going to need is, let's see. All right, first of all, get a big long table, because you're going to need to spread out. And you're going to have painting over here and glue over here. And you're going to find, if you can, around the house, some acrylic paints or watercolor paints, whatever you have at home. You could even use crayons if that's all you have, or markers. Blank white paper, newspaper, old wallpaper. If your parents have wallpapered before and they have extra, ask them if they have extra rolls of wallpaper they're not using, then you could use that for making whatever. Gift wrap, extra scrapbooking paper, maybe your parents scrapbook and they've got all those extra textured papers. Those are a lot of fun to work with. Cotton balls, stickers, markers, popsicle sticks, and I think I said glue, scissors, anything that will help to keep it together. Maybe you have a binder that you can keep your book in, so you can page by page work on each one. Also you will want to type up your book in the little captions of what you want on each page. So you'll type up your first or second or third sentences, and then it goes onto that page. I think that's all I have for now. But if you try to, I'm going to just show you one more thing. As I was saying that you could make a tree, I'm going to show you, here's that green piece of colored paper. If I take that green paper and I just cut out random, almost looks like a cloud. All right, so I've got this random cloud, right? Hold on for a second. I'm going to do another one. And this time I'm going to pick an area that has slightly a little more yellow. All right, and then what you would do is, to make your tree look more like it has dimension, you would put this one on top of this one, and then if you had another one maybe over here, it gives it more fullness and more dimension of showing different patterns, different textures, different directions. And then you would build a like a brown textured, maybe paint brown and make a brown textured tree trunk, and then you glue it onto your paper. So that's how to write a simple book and illustrate it yourself. It's pretty easy. So I'd love to see you all try, and good luck. I hope that we see all kinds of really good stories. I hope that you post your stories under mine and show me what you've accomplished. That would be great. Thank you again. Bye.